Breaking news exclusively from Blue Eye Media. And now from our global friendly partners.
We have breaking news right now, and it's about a story that not enough people are talking about. ICE officials are forcing individuals in South Florida at 3 detention facilities to kneel and eat like a dog. That's directly from a Human Rights Watch report issued earlier this morning that highlights the human rights abuses that are present in ICE facilities, in 3 ICE facilities in South Florida. The Chrome Detention Facility in Miami, where multiple migrants have passed away already just this year. The Miami-Dade County Jail, where some undocumented migrants are taken before they are transferred to another facility. And the Broward County ICE Transitional Facility, which is another one of those facilities in which migrants are taken before they are transitioned out of. Immigration is an issue that has broken through like no other. And today we're learning about the stories of individuals from in Florida, but also from Pennsylvania, about how Trump's ICE officials have systematically abused their human rights, denied them basic medical care, and prevented them from contacting lawyers or their family. So I want to take a minute and tell you their stories, starting with Fernando Eduardo Ortiz. And this is according to the Miami Herald. Ortiz was arrested in Jupiter, Florida. He was driving in late June in an RV with one goal: to leave the country. He was headed to Colorado with his wife and their daughter when he was arrested and he was detained. He was sent to a U.S. Customs and Border Patrol facility in West Palm Beach, then transferred to the infamous Alligator Alcatraz. He told the Miami Herald, quote, "This is a concentration camp. They treat us like criminals. It's a pursuit of humiliation. We're all workers and people fighting for our lives." Before his arrest, Ortiz had spent nearly a decade in the United States of America. He did not have any criminal convictions, no criminal charges, and yet now he's in Alligator Alcatraz. Second, Nicholas Espier, who's 30 years old. He flew to the United States from Chile on a tourist visa in January 2021. He arrived with his girlfriend, who was fleeing a dangerous personal situation. The couple married in 2022 and requested asylum. They pay taxes, they obtain work permits and social security numbers, and they have 2 United States-born daughters, both of which are American citizens. He was arrested on May 22nd at the Miami Design District. He was held at the Turner Guilford Night Correctional Center longer than 1 month. He had a hearing in late June and should have been released no later than 48 hours later. But instead, his wife said, he was kept in jail 4 days past what should have been the release date until he was moved to another ICE facility in Miramar. He was then taken to Alligator Alcatraz the next day. Jordan Castillo, who's 43 years old. Castillo had lived in Miami for nearly 2 decades before he was detained by ICE officials. He had built a small business, Jordan Paint. The company allowed him to make a decent living and give others the opportunity to work. He had some legal troubles. Court records show that felony charges dating back to 2019 for drug possession, which was dropped, a concealed carry violation with no action taken, and fleeing from police, for which he served 6 months probation. Last month, he was arrested for habitually driving without a license and was taken to Alligator Alcatraz on July 3rd. Now I want you to listen to this story that he told the Herald. He was handcuffed and left outdoors in the sun as a punishment for attempting to go on a hunger strike inside the detention center. As mosquitoes swarmed him, he pleaded with guards to bring him inside. He was kept outside for nearly 3 hours. He told the Miami Herald that there are fights between detainees over scarce amounts of food. COVID-19 cases have spread inside one of the cells, and they are harming detainees, leaving them in the sun to do so. Daniel Muela Gomez. Daniel is 31 years old. He's an employee of Hubbard Construction in Orlando, Florida. He was pulled over for speeding on June 25th. He had a work permit, a driver's license, a social security number, and he was paying taxes. Instead, he was detained. No criminal charges, no criminal convictions. You see a pattern here. He was now sent to Alligator Alcatraz as well. Inside the detention center, Gomez says guards force detainees to eat their food during scheduled meal times or throw away what's not eaten. Saving food for later is not permitted. he was punished, literally using food as the punishment. He said that he has developed lung pain inside alligator Alcatraz, the first time he has ever dealt with such pain in his life. These are just some of the stories of individuals in Miami, Florida right now. And according to Human Rights Watch, which is the new report that was released this morning, there are significant human rights abuses throughout a number of the detention facilities, not even including alligator Alcatraz, which is the one in the middle of the Everglades. Now, I'll take a point of personal privilege here. I'm from South Florida. I grew up going to the Everglades on school trips with family. Building a facility in the middle of the Everglades is the definition of cruelty. There's significant bug presence. If you ever get lost in the Everglades, you're never getting out. It is extremely hot and humid. We know now that there's not adequate ventilation. There's not adequate, essentially, protections from flooding. We're in the middle of hurricane season, and this is what folks are experiencing in real time. But it's not just in Florida. In Pennsylvania over the weekend, we learned about Luis Leon, an 82-year-old grandfather who had fled Chile back in 1987 and sought political asylum here in the United States of America. Why? He was fleeing an area where he was tortured. He was tortured by the regime in Chile at the time. He fled to the United States, was granted asylum, lived in the United States for 30 plus years. Well, his only crime, he lost his green card. He lost his green card, and so he made the mistake of going and getting another green card. But upon arrival at an ICE facility in Philadelphia, he was detained, he was separated from his wife, and that was the last his family had heard about him or from him until they received a phone call days later from an anonymous phone call saying that he had passed away. In reality, he was taken to a Milwaukee ICE facility and then transported to Guatemala, where he is currently in a hospital today. He has no connection to Guatemala, no ties to Guatemala, but was detained and transferred there, even though his family, according to the morning call, were told that he had died. These are real stories of real people, many of whom have no criminal convictions, many of whom had no run-ins with the law, and it's just a microcosm of what we're seeing across the country, and not enough people are talking about it. So I will, and I hope you'll join me. So subscribe today to support my work, and I'll see you on the next one.
Follow Blue Eye Media for exclusive insights and breaking news sources from global-friendly outlets that you won't get from the mainstream TV and radio outlets of America. Learn how to play the flute of the globe and learn the real truth.